Oh my God, past few days I've been incredibly busy. I planned on getting a rest during the holidays, but I didn't really get one. How are you doing? Hey, you know, I was hesitant at first to make this video, and I'll get into it here in just a couple minutes. Uh, it actually happened to me, but I know causation doesn't equal correlation necessarily. By the way, I mentioned in the prior video that I was going to be getting a umbrella parrot. It's a particular type of cockatoo. I've had a sulfur crested. I'm really good with birds. Very, very good with birds. So I had a gentleman on his own prerogative choose where to get the parrot from. And you put down 2 payments, and there's a Facebook page which I've reported as corrupt, and it's either down or hidden. But they robbed him of his money, so I actually bought a parrot cage off of Amazon. I used to have a really big one with my sulfur-crested bird. So now I've got a very large parrot cage. The guy was robbed of his money, and he was. I mean, he sent me proof. I didn't actually have any doubt about that, so yeah. It's not funny at all. I was looking forward to either a vacation or an umbrella, not an umbrella, excuse me, an umbrella, an umbrella. But, yeah, so no parrot for me. He got robbed, which is extremely unfortunate, half of which he paid via PayPal, so he'll be able to get his money back. But the other half, I don't know if you could actually claim it on that. This is something that's happened to me before I actually get into the quote-unquote fog video, and I've never, ever in my life seen such a massive drop of, it's not mass formation hysteria, it's not, or no form of collective fear. I would not make a video about such things. Never seen such a drop of so many countless thousands of videos, and I've seen nearly 200 videos, and my mind very easily rejects the nonsense. By the way, I've created a Substack. A lot of you over the years have asked me to post a Substack. It's completely free. I have the link below on my Substack. I have an enormous amount of articles that I've written over many, many, many years, and I will be publishing those in quick order on there. I'm also going to be publishing a lot of audio files of me reading on various things that I've written. I hope you like it, so that's in the Substack below. But this has happened to me, and it's happened over several months. Now I actually have to take my bills that I write checks for, you know, like gas, water, electric, blah, blah, blah. I have to take it to a local main postal facility now because I can't put it in the mailbox. This has happened to my parents as well, and it turns out that the United States government, or the Internal Investigative Agency, has closed just last year alone 6,000 nearly 6,000, 5,961, basically 6,000 cases. Tammy L. Hull, who's, I think she's an internal auditor somehow with the United States Postal Service. This is what she writes. Criminal organizations are targeting, recruiting, and colluding with postal employees to move, I'm going to use the word substances, through the U.S. Postal Network and to abscond with checks, both personal and government-issued checks, credit cards, etc., etc. This is going on. I don't know if it's happening to you. What they'll do is they'll actually wash the checks and, you know, redo them however they see fit. Mine didn't get washed, but I mean, you can say, well, 1 month and you had all your bills in the mailbox. They got lost, or who knows what happens. Yeah, but it's happened over multiple months. We can't actually stick them in the mailbox anymore. You know, they get taken by the postal worker. I have cameras all around this house. The only person coming in the front doorstep other than the Amazon delivery person is my postal worker. Even Maine News, I'm getting onto the quote-unquote fog. And when people say fog, they think they know what they're talking about. It's like saying waves. Well, waves of what? Waves of water? Waves of energy? But even Maine News, like Daily Mail, is picking this up. By the way, about 2.5 weeks ago, there's an extreme fog here, and my security camera, which I got 3 on this corner of the house alone, pointing this direction, that direction, and that direction, kept going off so much that I had to turn them off. It was not conventional fog. It was a huge particulate in this fog. Once again, fog of what? I'd like to talk about that in just a second. kept going. My security cameras kept going off. They're Solium security cameras, which I really, really love, by the way. And I had to turn them off. And I got wickedly ill after that. There's countless, I said I've literally watched over 150 videos. No exaggeration. Yes, literally over 150. Smells like burning rubber, smells like chemicals. Some witnesses have claimed that many, actually, not some, that's from Daily Mail, triggered health symptoms similar to respiratory illnesses. Here's another one, and this happened to me as well. Within about an hour, I kept sneezing over and over again for about 3 hours. My eyes got really puffy, got very warm, and felt like I had a fever. Stomach was cramping, got really ill. When we say fog, fog only means atomized or aerosolized materiality. When people say fog, ask them fog of what? Well, if people say fog, they immediately think of atomized water droplets. They're basically clouds on the ground. Everybody knows what fog is. This video is not about what you and I think when we say fog. Well, it's basically a ground-based cloud. It dissipates when the sun rises. It's atomized water. We're talking about something that is a fog of something else. Fog of what? You don't see it as much anymore, but I used to see it all the time growing up, that farmers would spray pesticides and countless whatnots on their field, and they actually had an atomizer, a mister, and when they'd spray their fields, they'd go back and forth through the rows, and it looked like a fog. Now look at that. Fog hanging over their fields. Well, fog of what? It's not atomized water. It is a particulate of something. I mean, conventional fog is, of course, a particulate is water. The fog that we're talking about here is not water. I mean, my security cameras were not going off over atomized water. They don't go off or warn me, and I get warnings via my phone, over atomized water. They don't. I've had them there now for over a year. They don't. Many times real fog. Should say real fog instead of atomized water. So, never in my life have I actually seen, and I'd like to hear from you. I read every comment about you experiencing it. It's kind of odd for me to make this the first video of 2025, but I've been working really hard on adding a lot of stuff and articles that I've written to Substack. A lot of you requested. I mean, I should have been on there years ago. I'm just so busy. Substack is a place where you publish articles to read. Also, 2 audio files. You could post other things there, like videos. But I've been working hard on putting those articles over there. So this is not a mass formation psychosis, nor is it collective fear. I would never, it's the same reason why I have not published, everybody talking about plasmoids in the sky. I mean, they're out of focus light dots. You zoomed in, they're out of focus, they look like war. Oh, look, there's a plasmoid, interstellar craft. Like, no, it's not. I've not made a video about that because there's absolutely no evidence. The only thing that actually ticks me off about there's thousands now, like I said, the regular news is picking it up, is that these people have not collected samples. Conventional atomized water droplets do not leave residue, and conventional atomized water droplets do not have a chemical smell, a burnt smell, or quote-unquote burning rubber smell. Actually, when I noticed it a couple weeks ago, and it made me, I'm still recovering from a sore throat. Almost over it. I mean, I got really sick. Everybody I know, actually, now that I think about it, was sick with the exact same thing at the exact same freaking time. Both my parents, my buddies at the surplus store, my buddies at the other store that I won't mention. So when people say fog, ask them fog of what? Fog refers to an aerosolized and atomized particulate. Fog doesn't specifically mean atomized water, but everybody thinks that. They say waves. Well, waves of what? Waves of water, waves of... Fog of what? Fogs of pesticides? Fogs of... Is it smart dust? I don't like making baseless, random speculations on this. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a lot of governmental patents, and this is not an opinion, this is a fact, of dissipation of particleized material to combat things, to have an effect on things. Listen, this is the important part. I know how these people think. They look at us the same way a farmer looks at the cattle in his field. They look at me and you like cattle. And I tell you, outside of dropping plutonium balls or uranium balls, that go boom boom. You know exactly what I'm referring to. Outside of that, the most easy, evil, sinister, and effective way to have your way with the creatures out there, the two-legged critters that they look like as cattle. And trust me, they do. They do look at us, me and you, as cattle. The easiest, most effective way is aerosolized, atomized substance released at high altitude, must be breathed in. It's unavoidable, it's cheap, it's effective. There's no permission required. You drop it, it's got to be breathed in. There is, like I said, other than dropping plutonium and uranium balls, out of ICBMs, outside of that, there is absolutely 100%, and think about this, no one's talked about this but me, there is not a single more effective and evil and sinister, surefire, cheap, easy, unavoidable way than that. Some of the videos out there are even worse than what I saw. Large particulate, they're filming the residue everywhere. I've got microscopes. I've owned in my lifetime at least 20 microscopes. The only thing that really blows my mind and, rubs me the wrong way is that people are not collecting samples of this for examination. I mean, it's mind-blowing to me. I could collect them if, I should have done it at the time, but I didn't think about it. But I've never seen such a huge amount of videos, and it's not mass formations. There's a lot of people out there, going, poo-pooing, oh, it's just fog. Well, ask them, say, fog of what? Fog is a translucent, hovering, aerosolized particulate. Are we talking about water, pesticides, smart dust? Go look up smart dust. Document called the Air Force 2025 report that was published in 1999, 25 years ago. Talks about this. Julian Assange in 2018 told us about intelligent evil dust being scattered around everywhere, released at altitude, around everything like confetti and a fog. There are countless patents associated with this. I'm not interested in doing blind speculation, and I cannot stand, chicken little, the sky is falling stuff. That this is not fog. It is not fog that set off all my security cameras where I had to turn them off. Real fog, or conventional ideated fog, doesn't do that. At least not to my security cameras. The stuff I'm seeing in these videos is not conventional water particulate. It's just not. I'd like to know what you think about this. I hope 2025 goes smoothly for everybody. I've got ideas and predictions. We got 18 more days until... Now, there's something funny I heard on live stream, which I think is really funny. I'm sorry, I got a good sense of humor. We've got 18 days until Cheeto Jesus gets in. I don't know if you've heard that one before, but I laughed endlessly. Cheeto Jesus. I'm sorry, it's really funny. Have you been suffering, sounds like a commercial now, have you been suffering from sore throat and lethargy? And, anybody that's over the age of 20 is very, very familiar with conventional fog. Fog of what, right? There has not been, literally overnight, endless thousands of videos where people are like, oh my god, there's fog, which I've seen a million times before, but this is totally different. No, that's not it. I know how to weed out, conventional nonsense, kind of like plasmoid orbs, which are out-of-focus light dots, and there's all sorts of crazy people. Sometimes people will email me some real craziness, and I hope you think, even if you don't like me, my mind is a little bit sharper than its capacity to fall for such nonsense. I would not make a video if I didn't think there was something to it. And I know correlation doesn't equal causation. But there are a bazillion people out there right now reporting getting wickedly ill, after, huffing and puffing the fog particulate, whatever that particulate is, which I don't want to speculate. I wish I had a sample. I have access to some really high-end microscopes. I'd like a sample. More than one sample, actually. Tell me what you think on that front. I wish you a happy new year. I'm really quite disgusted over the fact that I was very, very excited to get a umbrella cockatoo. Yeah. They're from Australia, by the way. And the source the guy got it from, the Facebook page is now shut down. I reported it as fraud, so did he. I told some other people about it. They reported it as fraud. So he's out. He'll get half of it back or more. Hopefully he gets all of it back. I was gonna someplace east of Indianapolis, Indiana. I was about that far from driving up and picking up the birds. Like, oh no, wait, it's a fraud. Yeah, I'm not responsible for that. He is, but I feel sorry that that happened to him, and I'm very grateful to him for the attempt to get me a bird pet. This is like something out of that Bad Santa movie. By the way, the star of Bad Santa, Billy Bob Thornton, I've never promoted a TV show before in my life, but it is really that good. Not that I really have time to watch TV shows. It's called Landman, one word, and stars Billy Bob Thornton, and it is really, really, really good. You might want to check it out. I've told a bunch of other people about it in live stream. Like, oh, I went to go see that, saw the show that you were talking about. I really, really love it. I'm totally in love with it now. It's just brutal honesty. Yeah, there's a je ne sais quoi about that TV show that I really, really like. I will catch you in live stream. I will continue working on Substack late into the wee hours tonight, uploading many countless articles that I've written. I hope you like them and enjoy them. Thank you so much for watching. The Substack link is below. One last thing. I know this sounds like a shameless promotion, but it's not. I found a slightly better and way cheaper battery, and I'll have that in the link below also. It's the Acmo. I've actually mentioned their power stations before, which I have 2 Acmo power stations. But this is a lithium iron phosphate or LiFePO 200 amp hour battery. It's slightly better and a good deal cheaper. I think currently, I don't want to misquote the price, so I'll just put the link to that battery below. The one thing that remains a constant, especially with this major storm that's going to come in and hit about a quarter of the country, is that, it's not going to run your furnace, even if you got 4 or 5 of these. Heating and air conditioning, we don't need air conditioning this time of year. Heating and air conditioning, no. We're not going to run your washer and dryer, but emergency devices, computer, small heater, heating pad or heating blanket. If you can charge your phone and you can have a heating blanket and you could run like this miniature refrigerator, run easily, like even one of these batteries will run 2 mini fridges and run your computer at the same time and charge your iPhone at the same time, or your Android phone, whatever it is you have. Just one 200 amp hour. So these have gotten really cheap. This was a better one at a cheaper price. Only slightly better. It's still lithium iron phosphate. Next generation of batteries, which I am not a fan of, are the new sulfur batteries, or sodium batteries, I think. Are they sodium batteries? I forget. I was told by a couple battery engineers which the next generations that are rolling out, they're no better than lithiums. In many ways, they're worse, and they're more fragile and volatile than lithium batteries. So, S Novim Godom, as they say in Russian, or Happy New Year. Let me know if you've had this incidence with this fog-looking stuff, and I still have a sore throat over it. I got deathly ill, as you were very well a couple weeks ago. So let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you about that. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year to you and yours. Okay? Peace out. Catch you a little bit. Bye. Sorry for my delay in returning the video. It's just been so busy. Thank you.